Hi, this is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to take a look at Core Space Firstborn. And this can be published by Battle Systems. This is a solo miniature game, but it can be played up to 4 players. And in this game here, you're going to be trying to stay alive and scavenge as much loot as you can from the vessel before the Firstborn wake up and murder you to death. In this game here, you're going to get amazing terrain. So if you've ever bought the Battle Systems terrain before, this is going to be similar. It's going to be this cardboard terrain here that gives a lot of immersion to the game and a 3D feel to the game too. They could have quite as easily had tiles in here, but you wouldn't have had the amazing immersion in the game from that. Also, you have some really cool miniatures. You know what? What I'm going to do is we're going to go down to the table here. I'm going to show you all the cool stuff that comes with this game, or at least most of it. And then after that, we'll come back and I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, so this is Core Space Firstborn, which is the second version of the game here. This is a standalone version. You can play by itself here. The original version, you fought the swarm, and the swarm would come in waves and you'd have to take them all out. In this version, you're going to have to survive, and you're going to need to sneak around. So you're basically sneak around this the ship here and try to get as much salvage in general for most missions and get out before you get killed. You're going to have to sneak around and get away from these drones. Make sure these drones don't get you. You're going to have to make sure you don't get killed by these Firstborn here, and they get stronger and stronger. These are going to be your locusts here. I showed you your drones here. You're going to get some tougher units out here that you're going to need to stay back from, and these have like super psychic powers. And you can see how awesome these miniatures look. Really well detailed. But these guys are going to come out and they're going to try to kill you. And then you got other things popping up out in the game too. You have these giant worms that you have to worry about. These guys will come up and they can do tons of damage to you, and they can pop up at different locations. You're going to be trying to escape these drones. These drones are going to be coming out and they're going to scan the areas trying to find intruders. And you can even run into other mercenaries in some of the missions of the game. You also have these are your main characters here. You have some beautiful looking miniatures for those also. And here's your 2 characters that you're going to do. Let's see if I can get in focus here. That you're going to do the starting mission with. These are Cassie and Wade. And this is a starting mission, but a lot of times in all the other missions, this thing gets completely filled up. You get a ton of terrain with this, and this is the Battle Systems terrain. So if you ever bought their terrain before, you know exactly what this is. These are held by clips, and they give an amazing table presence for the game. This game could easily have been tiles that you place down, but instead you have this really nice 3D interactive environment that you get to use. You get some really cool pieces like this Dyson reactor that look really cool. These are pillars that get placed out in the game here, and these are the stasis pods that hold the Firstborn in here. And the Firstborn will pop out, but if you could get to them early enough, it'll kill the Firstborn inside and you'll get the loot out of it. And then you also have different these are like different station interfaces where you can go in and you can unlock different things in the station. Here's like a drop pod here that could have a Firstborn pop out at you in a dramatic way. You also have these vents. These are the vents here that a fire can fire out of. These are the exhaust vents. And you have these really cool chests here. And this system is really nice because you open this up and then your loot is in there. And these are the loot. This is the loot that you can use, artifacts and loot that you can use in the game. And this is the salvage that you're trying to get. You can get them out of these little chests here, but you can also get them out of the pods here. And you just open up the pod here and you can see what you found. And this is what you, oops, there's one more piece in there. You can see what you found and gather that loot up. So yeah, you're trying to scavenge in almost all the missions here, and you're trying to sneak past these drones. They're going to pop out at these random different locations using the dice here. So the drone could drop out of the ceiling in any of these locations, and then when it's out, it's going to follow the path here and scan these rooms. So you're going to try to stay in cover so the drone doesn't find you. And the meat of the game here is going to be in this little track here. And there's two sides to this. There's going to be the easy side and there's a difficult side. And for the starting game, which is this, to get you into how to play, which is really nice. It puts you through 2 rounds and then lets you go off and finish it up. Really good introduction for the game. This here, every turn you're going to put a peg in. Normally this will be empty, but for the start game they put 6 in. And you're going to place out drones, maybe place out for different firstborn, where I roll in dice, see if they happen. And this one here, you have to hit that level to have that happen. These ones here just happens every time you're in those. And it's going to keep building and building until you get to the top. And then the firstborn become even more dangerous and harder to deal with. You have these really cool custom dice that come with the game here. These are really nice custom dice. You're always going to be rolling this blue die, which has a 2-hit side, but any other dice that you roll are going to be the red dice. You're going to try to get these hits. These are a miss. These are a misfire, which usually something bad happens with it. And these are the dice that you're going to use for movement and placement of the firstborn. Also, some effects, you'll use this purple die to move you around the board too, depending. But yeah, so those are the dice there. And the way this works is you're going to run through a couple different phases. But I wanted to show this off first. This is the really cool overview that you get with the game. This one really gets you into the game itself. It shows you how to set up this really quickly. Now, for the training stuff, I really highly recommend you go to Battle Systems site and watch their little video here on how to put all the terrain together. It's really helpful and it prevents you from like damaging anything here. But the way this is actually going to work is you have the hostility phase, which you're going to put a peg in that hostility marker, and then you're also going to throw over an event. And these events are going to get more dangerous. It just depends on what level you're in. So if you're in the beginning of the patrol level, you'll read this off and that's what happens. If you're in the inspection or aware level, you read this off. And if you're in the wake protocols and the cleanse, which is the top here, you're going to read this bottom off. So these cards here will get more and more dangerous as time goes by. So it's going to be more and more deadly for your characters in here. So you're trying to move as fast as you can. But you have the hostility phase, then you have the traitor phase, then you have the firstborn phase where they're going to try to attack you. And then you have NPC and assessment. So one of the big things that you're looking for this game and you're sneaking around is because you only have a limited number of shots. And these are the equipment you could carry, which is really cool because this size here and these pieces you put in is your pack. So you have to make sure everything fits in here in order to be able to carry that. And here's your shots down on the bottom here. And these are pretty much how many shots you get in the game. There's sometimes ways of reloading, but in general, this is alien tech, and it doesn't have your bullets here at all. And you can see here, this is the other character, Wade. So you play with 2 different characters in here. This is a dry erase board, which you would have done, and the game doesn't come with a dry erase marker, but you get a dry erase marker and you mark their starting levels for each of these things. You mark their starting abilities here, because this is crewman. There's a whole bunch of different ones that can get inserted into here, and you get so many points that you can put in there and mark them off. And this is going to be their health, skill, and gun bullets. So you're going to be using these really cool dashboards. You're going to be trying to conserve your bullets, not only because you don't have a lot of them, but also the first time each round you use a bullet, it's going to be put into this track, so making it more and more dangerous. In addition to that, you're going to be running out to get these techs, and there's weapons in these techs. But you don't always want to use these weapons. You really want to sort of rely on your bullets as much as possible, because this salvage is what you're selling to try to get upgrades and level up between the different missions here. And there's a lot of missions, because here's the base book here, and there's a ton of missions there. I think there might be 10, I think, that you can go through. I think, yeah, 10. And you're going to be building up your character through all of it. This is a really well done rule book. Lots of really good color pictures in here and explanations on how to play the game. And like I said, they hit it through the roof, or hit it out of the park, sorry, with this intro guide here to get you into the game here. Also, other things that are cool in this game here is you have range markers, so you don't have to use a ruler. So you have your short, your medium, and your super long range is just if you could see it, you could hit it. So they really simplified that, made it really straightforward. Like most miniature games, you do have line of sight in here, and you have several different layers of line of sight depending on how much of the character you can see. You could get advantage or disadvantage depending on which one you are. And everything here is pretty straightforward and easy to get into. But I just wanted to show you real briefly all the really cool stuff that you get with the game. There's a really great tutorial on how to play this game on Battle Systems website. But just the sheer amount of quality that you get with the game here, I just wanted to show you how these dashboards are really cool and really well done. You have this slot here that you could actually fill with different things throughout the game here. And then you have these slots that you fill. And then there's a lot of different professions that they can have that you can level up. They could go up to level 3. You could deck some of them out at the beginning of the game if you want with your points. But there's that. So overall, you get a ton of terrain with this. You get this really nice neoprene mat too. This neoprene mat is amazing. You get a lot of bang for your buck with this. A lot of games cost significantly more than this game does, and you get significantly less. But it's not just the components. You get a game that you can play, and there's not a lot of miniature games you can play out there solo. You can play this entirely solo. It works perfectly fine. And it's actually built, I believe, originally for just playing through solo. However, you can grab a friend there and you can play with them. Everything here is automated for the, I don't know if you want to call them villains, but because you're the one that's stealing from them, but the firstborn here. So you don't have to have a player who is the trueborn. You can just play as your main characters here, and you can enjoy the campaign yourself or with a friend. But either way, that's what comes in the Core Space Firstborn set here. Let's go ahead, back up the table here, and I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, so that was Core Space Firstborn. And as you can see, you get a lot of really amazing components in this game. Component quality for this game is through the roof. You don't get nearly this amount of quality in most games in this price point. And the miniatures, just love the miniatures. They're really well done and a lot of detail to them. They're going to be really fun when I paint them up. The gameplay itself here, so you have that starter mission there to teach you how to play the game. It puts you through like 2 rounds, just hands hold you through that. That is amazing. That really gets you jump started in the game and gets you into that. After that, I believe you have 10 missions to go through, and there is a ton of replayability in any of those missions. And that's mainly because of the how they automated the boss, or the bad guys, basically. So that they'll go in random different points on the board. I didn't really show, but you could see that they have these numbers on the board. The drones will go on the board itself, and the firstborn will come in sometimes from the outside. So they very random on where they pop up. You have to be, which gives a layer of suspense in the game because you need that. Because if you knew exactly where these drones are popping out every time, it's not going to be like as challenging, and it's not going to be like get those nice stressful moments because you won't know. Like you'll know that it's there. Why would you know where the drone's coming out? You're invading a ship you know nothing about. So I think that was a really good thematic element they put in there. Those drones will pop out anywhere. The firstborn can pop out of the stasis pods or other places. You got to keep an eye out for them. Lots of really cool effects. Worms can pop out of the ground and do tons of damage to you. You have exhaust fans firing up, causing the room to superheat, so you have to worry about that. Lots of really cool things, and it's really fun in the main campaign to play through and upgrade your characters, play these different scenarios, and it's a lot of fun going back too once you've learned how to like optimize your character and stuff and use them properly, to go back and see if you can do any better. In this game here, you're going to be able to do 2 different actions. A lot of them are going to be like you move, you get up to 4 movements. But one of the coolest thing is each turn you get a free effortless action, they call it. So I think that's a really cool idea. So I might move twice, go at the 8 spaces here, but I just need 1 more space to move to be able to get towards that door. I could use an effortless action to do that, among other things. I can move and shoot and move, just like any of the other ones. Really straightforward on what you can do in there, and pretty intuitive on how to use those enemies in the game itself. Overall, I am very pleasantly surprised with this game. There's a lot of support for this game, so there's several expansions out for this game. There's a whole community for this game. There is absolutely nothing stopping you from making your own missions. You can make your own missions, follow the same rules, so you don't have to worry about the overhead of the AI part of it, where you're bringing out the enemies and stuff. The game's mechanics still take care of that. You're just setting up the board. You can make your own mission. You could play with your friends. There's zero reason why you can't just, even though this is really built for solo, it also does really well with multiplayer. So there's no reason you can't bring your friends in and enjoy like a scenario you made. Like I said, there's a giant community for this. If you're looking at this game at all intrigued you from what you saw on there, I would pick it up. You'd probably be very surprised at how much you will enjoy this game. Yeah, overall, I think this one just hit it out of the park. Really love Core Space Firstborn. Looking forward to some of the expansions in the future and all that fun stuff. But that's my thoughts on it. If you like what we do, please like and subscribe. It really helps us out a lot. It helps us get more content out to you all and all that fun stuff. But either way, I hope we all have a great day, and thank you for watching.